Hey everyone, it's Cinema Lovers Incorporated back at you again with a brand new video. Do I really need to make this video? Do I really need to? I do? Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today I am reviewing the latest episode of Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 7. Now, we had a break because of the infamous Memorial Day, and they took a break because they didn't want ratings to be down, and I completely understand. So we waited actually like 2 weeks for this episode. And after episode 6, I really wanted to discover why Naomi joined what's his name again? Mel? Oh yeah, Mel. Sorry. I'm so stupid. Anyways, yeah, I wanted to know why Naomi joins Mel. I wanted a lot of answers, and I wanted to see more of the Vultures, what they did to Madison's group at the stadium. So this episode was actually very poor, in my opinion. The writing is very sloppy, and many things in this episode make absolutely no sense. Naomi, they got her character completely wrong in this episode. Naomi is a coward, and she moves place to place. She finds places that she kind of sees good, and she's a coward whenever something gets bad. So why the heck does Naomi end up with Mel? Well, we don't even get the answer. Mel just tells Naomi that she knows she's right. She knows, that it's better with him, but that doesn't make any sense. Mel, his group, they're so rough and tough, and Naomi isn't rough and tough. I mean, she is, but why would she join them? These gang members on the street hurting people, fighting left and right, when she could be just joining Madison, Madison's group, the stadium, is such a good place for the zombie apocalypse, but for some reason they keep talking about how it's going to fall, how it's such a bad place. Now, this would have been better if The Walking Dead Season 8 never existed, or Season 7. In The Walking Dead Season 7 and 8, we have these big communities, and it looks like in Season 9 of The Walking Dead, the communities will be built back up. So this whole stadium theme not lasting, blah, 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 makes absolutely no sense at all, because it looks like it could stand, and I don't understand why everyone's moaning about it falling down when it looks pretty sturdy, in my opinion. Sure, they have problems, but still, it's still sturdy in my opinion. So Naomi, she joins the Vultures for no apparent reason. I don't understand why she joins them, and they never reveal why. It's totally against her character. It's totally against Naomi that we've seen so far, and I just don't know why she's joining this group. It would have been better if Madison got mad at Naomi in this episode, and then that's why Naomi left Madison at the end. And they did that. She got mad at Naomi. But guess what? They ruined it because Naomi later apologizes like 5 minutes later and then goes to the armory and arms up against the Vultures. So it completely ruins the whole idea of why Naomi left in the first place. That was one of the big flaws, in my opinion. Another flaw has to be Mel and his group. I thought Mel would be doing something very sinister in this episode. Personally, I thought he would have pretended to fake being sick, and I thought he would have set a bomb inside of the base or anything, or something like that. And they kind of hinted at it in the episode, but it never came true. Mel's just hurt. His brother and him got in a fight, and they said they were fighting over leadership. Now, this would have been better. There would have been better tension if we actually saw him and his brother fight over leadership in past episodes. But we never saw that happen. I never even knew they fought over leadership issues. They look like okay brothers, in my opinion. So I don't understand why. And this fight that they had just feels out of place. He's just knocked badly out on the side of the road. Like, what was the point of them bringing him in? Oh, and then he leaves, and then they get him back, and he's back again at the stadium. This whole part is pointless. And what's worse is Mel actually, spoiler alert, dies in this episode. Mel dies near the beginning. So when we see all of these events happening, it doesn't really, there's not enough suspense or tension because we know he dies already in the present. And the death he gets is completely wasteful. I really wanted Mel to become a really interesting character. This episode actually built him up to kind of be actually a good guy. But no, they choose to kill him off in the beginning of the episode. It really ruins Mel's arc in this episode, personally, in my opinion. It's very annoying when you hear this whole season that something big happened in the stadium, something huge happened, that this group attacked, that this group was the worst enemy yet that we've seen in Fear the Walking Dead. I thought this would have been a fearful group. I thought this was going to be a sinister, evil group. And every episode talked about our characters messing up so the Vultures could get even closer to victory. In episode 4, everyone was talking about how they messed up everything. And in this episode, yeah. So Enos, Mel's brother, for some reason, he hates this group. He just hates the stadium. There's no tension. He's like, okay, well, I want to be the leader. I want to go back. He's like, you know what to do. And he takes this zombie horde to the place. It's nothing we've seen before. I mean, it's something we've seen before. We've seen this many times in the Walking Dead series. They let the zombies out, and boom, the zombies go toward the stadium, and we're left on a cliffhanger. That's it. Wow. I thought the Vultures were going to be very, very terrifying. I thought they were going to do mind games. I thought they were going to play tricks on our group, kind of break our group down until they're nothing more but dogs, savages. But no, we just have the generic villains who bring the zombies into the stadium. And this is really, really bad, ladies and gentlemen. This really is bad. Let's also talk about Charlie. Charlie kills Nick and everything's forgiven for some reason with Charlie. And Morgan's like, Charlie, you need to go. She's easily one of the worst parts of this episode. She's like, I need to check on Mel. And Madison, for some reason, lets Charlie have another chance. It makes absolutely no sense at all. And then Charlie just sits there. And it would have been better if she didn't kill Nick already. You know, it would have been better if Nick never died. But she killed Nick in episode 3, and Enos is not a compelling villain because he died all the way in episode 3. If I was the showrunner, I think they should have killed Enos off in this episode, in the present storyline, and then have Mel survive. So it would have just made this episode so much better, in my personal opinion. And the way the characters just talk and interact at times is completely stupid and out of place. Now, yeah, and this whole season, they had this flashback, flash forward, flashback, flash forward. They were building something big up, something that I thought we would have never seen before in the Walking Dead universe. I mean, it would have been so amazing if our group was dragged out after Mel sets explosives inside the base. And then they get dragged out and they get just tortured brutally. Not like in The Walking Dead where they get hit by a baseball bat. No, they get tortured brutally. That would have been so much better. I thought this group I thought they were going to be compelling villains. But no, they're probably the weakest villains we've had in Fear the Walking Dead. It's really, truly sad how much time they've wasted this first half having flashbacks, flash forwards, flashbacks, flash forwards, and the payoff is not worth it. They're just generic villains. Enos is not a good villain. The one thing I want to clear up, however, Trev Chan too talked about one of the flaws. Nick and Alicia and Mel did not leave the vehicle when the zombie horde approached. This is because they were actually scared. They feared the Vultures. That's why it's called Fear the Walking Dead. we know how many vultures there are, but I don't think Alicia and Nick knew how many there were. Actually, you know what? They did. But I don't know. Still, I don't think they knew how many people there really were coming. So they had nowhere to go. And they couldn't go forward because of the fire. So, yeah, that's not a big problem in my opinion. The problem is Naomi's character, how she's just done. And I just want to say I hate Althea. I'm doing a video later about Althea and Althea Spotlight. I really hate Althea with a passion. She records stuff, and she's just one of the most boring characters on the show right now. She's like, I need your story. It's getting so stale when she keeps asking for their story. It worked in the first couple episodes of season 4. This is episode 7. It's tiring. I don't want to hear it anymore. Oh, I need your story. Oh, I bet when Madison appears, she'll ask for Madison for her story too. The action scenes, however, were good. I did enjoy them. I still think this show is better than The Walking Dead, but this episode really is a step back. Unfortunately, I feel like Fear the Walking Dead is dead. And I'm very, very disappointed. I thought this show would go on. I thought season 4 would have been better than this, but I did have my doubts, and I was prepared for the worst. So, what do I think of this episode? I think this is a very bad, poor episode. A lot of the character decisions just don't make sense. The arcs are just so anticlimactic, and this whole battle that they hyped up just isn't the way I wanted it to be. Now, the next episode will have the big battle. It will have the big final fight, I think. It looks like it. But the problem is that just the final fight, it wasn't built up properly. When the vultures came back, it just felt anticlimactic, and I think that's one of the problems. I'm going to give this episode a C-. I thought this was a poorly written episode, poorly directed episode. I really thought Charlie delivered some extremely cringeworthy moments, and I'm very disappointed in Fear the Walking Dead. This episode is a complete drawback. I think this episode was very poor. Even my Aunt Anna, she said it was a very slow-paced episode, and I think it's because it confuses a lot of people. The way they wrote this episode was just confusing. It was all over the place. Mel leaving 2 times was not needed. Let's just say that. It was not needed. I like Madison. I like the characters, but wow. Naomi, her character makes no sense. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe. I might be doing a Althea spotlight video later. But do you guys want to watch that video? Let me know down below. Comment down below. Sorry for my stuttering, everyone. I just stutter sometimes. Hope you enjoy the video. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, do whatever the heck you want to do. What did you think of this episode? Let me know down below. Bye, everyone.